didn't we tell you we'd be right back here at Verdane TV, just polishing off all the buttons here, getting everything back unpacked. Just wrapping up practice here with the Hudson Speedway's iRacing group. We're here with the street stocks, running the street stocks rather, here at the Lanier Speedway. I'm joined as always by Rowdy Wesley Hogue and the new guy, the new announcer here at Verdane TV. He's called a couple of races with us here in the past, did a great job. He did so good, we invited him back here to talk to you guys this Sunday afternoon. Kyle Young. Kyle, welcome back to Verdane TV. How you feeling, man?
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good myself. Looking forward to the action here this afternoon at the Lanier National Speedway for the Hudson Speedway iRacers. You guys have been, this is what, week 2, week 3 of doing this, so we're starting to get into the rhythm here. Looking forward to some tight short track action. Lanier is always one of those places that keeps it pretty exciting. You can't really escape here. It's a nice wide short track, but it's also really small, really action packed, and I'm expecting nothing less out of this race here today. So it looks like we're getting ready to get things over to qualifying, so this should be fun.
Yes, it should be, Kyle. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and in my best Jim Nantz voice, hello, friends, and welcome to Lanier Super 6 Speedway. I'm sorry, I'm binging for some Masters action. We're under qualifying here now at Lanier Speedway. Again, this is the Hudson iRacers league here. They are Hudson Speedway iRacers League. These guys run at real life the Hudson Speedway, and because the Hudson Speedway that they race at is not on the iRacing service, they're choosing to run Lanier, which is a similar track. So a lot of these guys are they're very familiar to short track racing in real life on the simulator as well, and they typically put on a good show for us. So I'm looking forward to calling this with Mr. Kyle Young, as you guys on the YouTube machine and the Facebook machine, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as we're not calling 1, we're not calling 2, we're not calling 3, but we're calling 4 events right here on Verdane TV today, and have a great upcoming list of events coming up. Later on, we have the TCM special event, April 26th, which is today at 6:45. And then, of course, for the 4th week in a row, we got the East Coast Winter League. We'll be running their SK Modifieds at Stafford Motor Speedway at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Wednesday, we have the new Smyrna World E-Series beginning week 1 here at Verdane TV. 7:30 will be the pre-show. 8 o'clock is qualifying. And the NEP at USA International starting off April 30th. I believe that is Thursday at 8:15. The first time these guys have ever had a broadcasted race. So, man, we are excited. We got a full studded schedule coming up. This race here I'm most excited about, because these boys have put on a show the last couple of weeks. We got to call them.
Yeah, and it should be another good one. As I was just mentioning, Lanier is usually always a very action-packed track. Nice and wide. You got a lot of room to work with, but you can't really go all over the racing surface. If you're talented enough and have the car set up underneath you the right way, yeah, you might be able to use the outside a little bit, depending on how the rubber lays down. But this is usually a pretty bottom-heavy racetrack, which always provides exciting racing for the fans. It might be frustrating for the drivers at times, make it difficult to pass each other, but for us watching from outside of the cockpit of the race car, lots of beating and banging, lots of leaning on each other, and that's something that you can very easily do with these street stocks. They're one of my favorite short track cars here on iRacing. You can lean into these guys, you can nudge them, you can use them up a little bit, and it doesn't really do too much. They're really forgiving with contact, and it provides a lot of exciting racing, whether you're a driver or a spectator with these street stocks. So I know I haven't been around for these first couple of weeks with this series, but you guys have, so you know the ins and outs already. And I'd like to think I'm not completely talking out of my butt right now.
No, you're absolutely right. And some familiar names that you might see running up front is going to be Garrett Lamb, Derek Gluhacki. I believe you helped us out with that last name last week. There's a couple names that you typically see running up front here. Regan Parent definitely doesn't do too bad around this racetrack. But just a couple names that you will typically see up front here at Lanier.
Yeah, and while we've got just under a minute and a half left to go, with this qualifying session. Of course, drivers still going out and making their times. We got Garrett Lamb right now sitting on the provisional pole. He's only got it by 0.06 of a second over David Rindo, I believe is how that is pronounced. Regan Parent, as you just mentioned, currently sitting in position number 3 with a 14.785. Pole time now is a 7.60 by Garrett Lamb. Tony Quadros sits in 4th with an 8.24, and then Derek Gluchaki rounds out the top 5 at a 14.849. Lots of close times here, Wes. We've got, let's see here, the first, 6 cars are separated by just over a tenth, and then you're looking at about almost 2.5 tenths separating first from, that's probably, I'd say, 15th or 20th or so.
Yeah, these guys they're very, very even in times. Seeing a couple tricks though as we watch qualifying here, trying to get their times a little bit better. These guys try to get any kind of advantage they can. Even when it comes to qualifying, try to get an extra tenth or two. But yes, very close in time.
So by paying attention to things here in the iRacing server, it appears that the top 5 drivers are going to go straight to the feature. So that would be the top 5 that I just ran through. Well, actually, we've had it changed. Derek Gluchaki has been knocked out of the top 5 by Milton Duran in the 08 car. He goes to position number 3 at a 14.812. The remaining top 5 stays the same. And they're going to go straight to the feature, and we're going to have 5 more cars coming out of these first 2 heat races as well.
All right, and it looks like sitting on the pole will be Garrett Lamb, and with a 14.760. So congrats to Garrett Lamb as we begin to line up here for our heat race. And I believe these guys have the top 5 move on directly to the feature. So moving on directly will be Garrett Lamb, Davey Riendo, Davey Riendo, I think is how you say that. Regan Parent, Milton Duran, and Tony Quadros will move on. So in your heat, it will start as follows. Derek Gluchaki starting pole in that 21. Starting second will be the 22 of Adam Knowles. Starting third will be Jeffrey Battle in the 19 ride. Starting fourth will be the 20 of David Greenslit. Starting fifth will be Justin Bankowski in the 91, and starting sixth will be Christopher Buffon in the 2. Starting seventh will be David Elliott in the 41. Starting eighth will be Kyle Buck in the 05. Starting ninth will be Eric Babal in the 9, and then rounding out the field, starting 10th will be Joseph Brooks. 11th, will be Thomas Johnson. 12th is scheduled to be Rodney Hooten, but I believe he's an admin for this race. So you're going to get 11 cars starting off in this heat event. And Kyle, for these events, we are looking at 12 laps. And then our Consi, if needed, will be a 15-lapper, and then our 50-lap feature.
So there's your rundown for heat race number 1. 11 cars going to take the grid, and we will qualify the top 5 into this afternoon's 50-lap feature. Looks like we're just about ready to get things rocking and rolling. The iRacing pace car, Ford Mustang pace car, getting ready to lead the field around for their 2 pace laps for these guys to make one last check around the track, see where the rubber's at, see where the marbles at, get themselves comfortable, tighten the belts, and get ready to go here. These 12-lap heat races, extremely important to get yourself qualified for the field. We've got 11 of them, as I just mentioned, so just about half of them are going to go in, and then the remaining 6 are going to go to this afternoon's Consolation event, where they will have to try again their last opportunity to get into the feature for today.
You ready to go green flag racing here? Are you ready, Kyle?
Oh, I'm ready to do it, baby. I just spent the last 24 hours out in Germany doing some road racing. Let's get to some short track.
That's what I'm talking about here at Lanier Speedway. And for you new viewers, we're a little bit different here. We're very unique here at Verdane TV. We like to have fun. We like to be ourselves. You like to show a little bit of our personality. So don't be alarmed if you get a little bit of humor from us. But pace car is in, and that green flag is out for Derek Gluchaki, who takes the lead straight off the start, dives in the turn 1. He clears Adam Knowles, and right on the bumper to Adam Knowles is the 19 of Jeffrey Battle.
First 5 cars going to go single file, working their way into turn 3 for the first time. We got a side-by-side battle for position 6, and the 41's going to go around. The 41 machine spins it on the bottom side of turn 4. He will try to get the car fired around. That is David Elliott. No caution flag flying, and will rejoin at the back of the field. So an unfortunate circumstance there for David Elliott. That will make for a long day for him, as now the field throughout the entirety now has just about single filed out, and we're logging laps. We got 2 laps in the books.
If any of our viewers know if David Elliott is related to a Gary Elliott, let us know. And feel free to chat with us in our chat as well, as we like to network and communicate and talk to y'all that are watching. But Justin Benkowski in the 91, he works his way underneath the 20 to take the 4th position. They're battling here for that last qualifying position, as we see the 20 on the top shelf getting a little loose there. He's a little more than a little loose, as he's up in the marbles. He's up in no man's land, and the marbles start about the 3rd lane here. So it's not hard to get up into that, Kyle, as he drops all the way back behind the 05 in 7th position.
No, not at all, Wes. These street stocks can be a bit of a handle to get underneath of you, and it doesn't make it any easier when you get up into the marbles. Now, David Greenslake going to look to the inside of Kyle Buck in the 05. This is for position number 6. So these guys, they make a little bit of contact on the back straightaway there. They're going to want to try to get this battle sorted out quickly before the 2 machine of Christopher Buffon runs away with that final transfer spot. The cross flags are in the air. 6 laps are down. 6 laps are complete. And the 20 of David Greenslake is going to clear the 05. Now that opens up the door for the 48 machine of Eric Bubeau to get underneath of him, and they will now battle for position number 7. The watch is on the number 20 machine of David Greenslake. Can he reel in the 2 of Christopher Buffon? Everybody else inside the top 5 looking pretty comfortable, but the battle will be for that position, for position number 5. If the 20 can reel him in, he's got 4 laps to do it.
As Kyle Buck's elevator goes down, the elevator on the 20 goes up as he tries to battle it out, as the 05 of Buck and the 48 in the Bubeau still battle it out there. But where your eyes again are going to be concerned is going to be up front with that 20. Can he work his way up through there? Bad thing is that 2 car is blinking really bad, and that's frustrating when you're a driver behind them, because you just want it to stop, because it's completely distracting there, Kyle. And seeing that over and over again, you're just hoping he blinks out and doesn't come back.
For sure, and with the distance that he's back, well, now he's starting to kind of reel him in here. I was starting to think that maybe David Greenslake was going to be too far back to make the move, but now it looks like he's trying to get him in. It's hard to tell with the 2 having his issues, and it also makes it difficult to throw the bumper on him if that's the move that you're going to try to do. He's trying to get to the inside, trying to reel in the gap. He's got about 2 car lengths to make up here in turns 3 and 4. He is not going to get there. It's going to be Christopher Buffon to hang on to that. But Derek Luchacki out in front of the field, he takes heat race number 1, with Adam Knowles finishing in 2nd, Jeffrey Battle 3rd, Justin Benkowski 4th, and as we just mentioned, Christopher Buffon will round out your top 5. Those 5 drivers will move on to today's feature. Everybody else will go to the consolation race. That is the number 20 machine of David Greenslake, the 05 of Kyle Buck, the 14 of Joseph Brooks, the 48 of Eric Bubeau, I'm probably butchering that, and the 58 of Thomas Johnson, and the 41 of David Elliott.
I'll tell you what, it's got to be really frustrating for a guy like that you're waiting, you're trying to get the position from him, but you can't see him to get the position. That's got to be very frustrating. But nonetheless, your starting lineup here for the second heat will be the Jimmy Weaver in the 25 starting pole, next to the 50, that cool metal yellow ride of Matthew Kimball. Starting third will be 164 Robert Round, and next to him on the outside will be Jarrett Howard in the 12. Behind them, the 34 of George Riley will be starting fifth. On the top side of him will be the 23 machine of Andrew Davis. Behind them, the 8 of Gleason Smith will be lined up, and next to him will be the 11, starting 8th place of Cody Parker. Starting 9th will be guys shown some speed before, and that is Andrew Harmon. He's not always where he needs to be to make it happen, but he's definitely showed some speed. And the outside of him will be the looks like the 000 of Terrence Connor. Interesting number. And then rounding out the field will be the 29 ride of Adam Cody.
So we'll re-rack them and get ready to do it again. Another 12 laps, another 5 cars going to today's feature event. Pretty clean and green there throughout that first one solo self-spin. No harm, no foul, really too much there, unless you're David Elliott, of course. But pretty clean racing, pretty solid stuff so far, good action. The pace car comes around, they complete their first pace lap. We will go green flag racing for the second time here today. Next time by with Jimmy Weaver and his Mountain Dew number 25 machine. leading the inside row, and the 50 mellow yellow car of Matthew Kimball leading the outside row.
All right, Kyle, let's do this one more time for 12 laps. Let's set our feature field, and the green flag is out, and Jimmy Weaver fires. We've seen the leader get the advantage of last race. He gets it again here as he's able to hold on, but there's the 50 of Kimball under fire from the 164 of Run right away, putting his nose straight underneath him. He wants that second position, and right there with him is the 12 of Jared Howard.
Great racing right off the bat for position number 2. Robert Run underneath of Matthew Kimball in the center of 1 and 2. Kimball's actually going to get a good run off of turn 2. It looks like he's going to clear. Now he jumps down to the bottom side of the racetrack and takes clear possession of position number 2. He slides a little bit coming off of turn number 4. Run will look back to the inside, heading back down into turn 1. Side-by-side battle once again for about 2 rows deep now, as we're battling all inside the top 5, with the 8 machine of Gleason Smith kind of watching all of it, seeing where he can fit his way in and get himself a transfer spot. He now has that opportunity as he goes underneath the Jared Howard for 5th.
Howard kind of got body checked there by George Riley for that 4th position. George said, hey, I want this, and I'm going to take it if you like it or not. But now that opened up the door for Gleason in the 8. He's able to battle under. Can he clear him coming into 1 and 2? As you see Howard just drive it in hard. It's really hard to get it to stick on that top side with those marbles. Top side hasn't been worked in yet, and you can see right now he's feeling the effect of that. This is that freight train effect, Kyle. You just got to keep on slipping.
That's one of the downfalls with the outside line not being in racing form quite yet. As you get stuck there, you can't quite make the move down to the inside. Nobody can clear. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there between the 12 of Jared Howard and the 23 of Andrew Davis. Those two are still fighting for position 6 with Gleason Smith right in front of the 23. You probably could only fit a few pieces of paper in between those two bumpers as they went down into turns 1 and 2 that time. Still fighting it out hard. The 12 of Jared Howard, he is not giving up. He knows he's at a disadvantage, but he is trying to make it work and maybe put that outside line into use later on in the day. He now goes to the bottom, maybe gives a little bit of a kiss to the back bumper of the 23 car, trying to shove him up the racetrack. Now he drives it in deep. He definitely made contact that time, trying to get underneath of him, Weston. Like I said, you can beat and bang on these cars a little bit and not really do too much, but he crosses underneath the 23 of Andrew Davis and now trying to get that spot back so we can run down the top 5 coming to 3 to go this time.
This is what Jarrett needed to do. He needed to kind of get himself to the bottom and to make up those spots. He was doing nothing holding himself up on that top end, and he's able to do so. He's able to get around him. Now he has 2 cars ahead of him here, Kyle. He's got 2 cars to beat, one being Gleason Smith. As Gleason's working his way on the bottom of George Riley, he's trying to battle for 4th, and that's exactly with Popsicle Sticks out that Jarrett Howard wants to see. And these two are battling. He wants to be able to get into that transfer position. One of these guys slip up, it's going to put him in that spot. White flag is out, Kyle. That's where your battle is.
No guarantees on who's in and who's out yet. The 8 and the 34 are both in, the 12 hunting, trying to find his way into the field. He drives it down underneath the 34. He's got a nose under the 34. Gives the bumper to the 8 car of Regan Smith, or Gleason Smith. Gets him sideways, and it will be the 34 of George Riley, 4th, Gleason Smith, 5th, and Jared Howard will have to go through the Consi in 6th, while Jimmy Weaver, the 25 car, the Pulsator, finishes number 1. He will win heat race number 2. Matthew Kimball will be in 2nd position with Robert Rund coming home in 3rd, and again, the top 5 running down. George Riley hanging on over Gleason Smith for 4th and 5th. Jared Howard, Andrew Davis, Andrew Harmon, Terrence Connor, Adam Cody, and Cody Parker will have to go to the Consolation event starting up right now. Looks like we're going to take 11 of them. Holy goodness. 11 cars out of the Consolation in this 15-lap feature.
Shout out to Regan Parent. Finally got the true pronunciation of Derek's last name. It's Glue Chalky. Glue Chalky. Man, these guys are so helpful. Why can't Americans be this helpful? Wait a minute, they are American. What? Why am I talking?
We suck as a country,
Okay.
Wes. We suck as a country. We suck as people. It's just how it is.
Reagan Parent, I think he's American, but he helped us out with Glue Chalky. So we got that down packed here. And going to catch our breath for a second. We just saw Jared Howard battle hard there, but now David Greenslit will be your leader. Starting this off, Jarrett Howard 2nd. Kyle Buck, cool ride that he has there starting 3rd. Andrew Davis in the 23, 4th. Joseph Brooks starting 5th in the 14. 26 starting 6th on the outside of him, Andrew Harmon. And then the 48 of Eric Bobo. And then we're going to have the 00 of Terrence Connor. And then rounding out your field will be the 29 of Adam Cody, Thomas Johnson in the 58, 41 of David Elliott, the 11 of Cody Parker. That will be your field, Kyle. And let's take a deep breath. Let's have some fun. And we're gonna have an action-packed race here, brother. We're gonna have 15 laps of 12. It's gonna be 3 laps more, and this is your last chance to make the show, Kyle.
Indeed it is, Wes. 15 laps, your final opportunity. If you are not in the top 11, you are going home on the trailer. You're going to have to watch the feature race from the infield. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to get in. We'll see who does, and we will see who does not. Pace car jumping down into pit road. Here we go. Green flag flies. The Consolation race is underway. David Greenslet off to a great start. He will clear Jared Howard on the outside line, letting everybody behind them battle side by side for position. That's Kyle Buck in the 05 underneath of Jared Howard to take over position number 2, using that inside line starting position to move to runner-up. Howard now trying to work that top side once again. He's got a little bit of space to come down. He will come down as he complete lap number 1, and now we're single file throughout the majority of the field.
Single file throughout the field here, Kyle, as Eric Bobo starts to look underneath the 14. Going to see if possibly he can get underneath him here as he's able to do so. But can he clear him coming down into 3 and 4? He smokes the tires, does Eric. He's able to get side by side down the front stretch. Oh, diving it down one more time, trying to get him, but back up front. The 12 of Jarrett Howard, and now Kyle Buck battling it out, and both drivers just sliding those tires here, but not much saving needs to be done in a 15-lap race. It's just time to go.
No, it's all out and balls out here in this Consolation event. And for these guys running up towards the front, you got a lot of a cushion. They're taking 11, you're running inside the top 5. You can afford to kind of be a little bit more aggressive right here. You don't want to get too aggressive and take yourself out of a transfer spot, but you want to at least give yourself an opportunity to learn something going into the feature event. You're going to be starting a little bit further back, starting behind the heat cars, starting behind the qualified cars. So you're going to have some ground to make up. Use this opportunity if you're these guys inside the top 5. Drive the wheels off it. Learn a little bit. See what you can do. See what you need to improve on, and figure out what will be the best opportunity for you to pass and work your way up through the field for the feature events. Got a slow car down here on the bottom side of the racetrack. That is the 29 of Adam Cody. He is the 12th car, the odd man out right now. We've only got 12 in this Consolation, and we're going to take all but 1. So he goes off the lead lap. That's going to put a lot of pressure on him to try to figure something out here. He's going to have to hope for a miracle at this point. But everybody else, though, feeling a little bit comfortable knowing that the one and lone car that will not be able to qualify is off the lead lap while everybody else is still on it.
This is the racing we've wanted to see. You know, this is great short track racing that we're watching here, and this is last chance qualifying races. You're going to see some bumpers being used. Now we're getting single file into a rhythm, but you're seeing some of these guys just smoke their tires going into corners. All that matters is they're able to move on. It's not like they have to start the next race on these tires. You might as well use them up, Kyle. And now we're at that 5 to go mark. The battle is up for the lead. David Greenslet and Jarrett Howard are battling nose to tail.
Jared Howard was able to reel down leader David Greenslet. Now he's going to try to find an opportunity to get around him and win this Consolation race with just 4 laps to go. Not much of an advantage to getting around David Greenslet. It's only going to start him 1 position higher. But if you get an opportunity to win something on the racetrack, of course you're going to want to take it. Now we'll see how hard these guys battle, and if that brings Kyle Buck into the mix. Howard hasn't been able to find his way underneath of him. You hear so many times in racing, catching him is one thing, passing him is a complete another thing. So trying to get around the 20 car here will be the challenge. 2 laps to go. David Greenslet still holding on to the top spot.
That top spot with the 2 to go is still under fire here as the 20 of David Greenslet has his mirror full of the 12 of Jarrett Howard. Can Jarrett do something with him coming out at 1 and 2 here? That lead starts to grow, so it doesn't look like he's going to have much for him here. Driving into 3 and 4. Looks like that will be your winner, David Greenslet, followed up by the 12 of Jarrett Howard, Kyle Buck, Andrew Davis, and then Eric Bobo rounding out your top 5.
The remaining field of finishers is Cody Parker in the 11 car. He comes home in 6th. Andrew Harmon 7th. Joseph Brooks in 8th. Thomas Johnson will finish in position number 9. David Elliott in 10th. And Terrence Connor, your final transfer car, finishes in 11th. The odd man out is Adam Cody. He will not start today's 50-lap feature. So all of our qualification races and procedures are done, these drivers have 5 minutes to try out their cars, make any last-minute adjustments and some comfortabilities with their machines, and then we will go racing for 50 laps here at Linear National Speedway.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to this, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun after this warm up. Do we have a national anthem coming up? All right, let's stand for our national anthem.
Great rendition there, the national anthem. If you're a musician and you've got a band or you've got a guitar or you want to play the national anthem and maybe get it aired on Verdane TV, either Canadian or United States of America, because we do broadcast races here in both countries, definitely shoot us a message. Get us up on YouTube or Facebook, facebook.com/Verdane TV or Verdane TV on YouTube, and just fire us off a message, and we can definitely work something out there for you. But we got about a minute and a half left in warm-up. Going to kick it back up here to the booth to Kyle Young and Rowdy Wesley Hogue.
Paul, will you sing the national anthem with me?
Absolutely not.
I was going to say, I think Icy White's a great candidate to do one of our national anthems one day.
I need someone to play the air guitar. I need someone to play
I'll play the
bass
triangle
drums. And
I'll play the
I
cowbell.
could do belly drums if you need that.
Ooh.
The belly drums. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that just happened.
I need a nap.
I'm going to kick it over to Kyle Young here, trying to give you a little bit of a briefing of what we got coming up here in this feature, while I go and find myself a beverage, as Christopher Buffoon just got removed from the server. Interesting.
So we got about a minute left here in the warm-up session before we kick things over to our 50-lap feature event. We are going to start 26 cars. That may end up being 25 now that Buffon has been set down for the remainder of the race. So 25 cars will start this feature event. We will go for 50 laps. Caution flags, of course, will be on for this feature. We haven't seen any cautions throughout the night so far. And a couple other important pieces of information for you watching. These drivers do have one fast repair, which means that if you pull your car into pits with damage, you basically get a new car. You snap your fingers and your car is completely refreshed. So you'll be able to do that one time, and the incident point limit is 25. So it's a pretty high incident point limit. Shouldn't see anybody have to deal with that. in just a 50-lap feature, but is a piece of information that is worth noting because it could come into effect if some guys struggle throughout this feature, as it's time. Drivers getting in their cars, getting on the grid. We are getting set for 50 laps of street stock action here at Lanier National Speedway for the Hudson Speedway iRacers.
You know, it's interesting here, Kyle. One thing they don't set up for this league is the marbles being cleaned up. If you want to cycle through and you have your graphics turned all the way up, you can see through 3 and 4, and there's marbles all over this track. This might be interesting to see how these guys are able to handle on the exit of 3 and 4 at least. 1 and 2 may not be as bad, but man, this could be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. You hear so much in the dirt racing world how track conditions are constantly changing and how much of an importance that has on the racing product. Well, the same is here for pavement racing as well, as you can see with all of the marbles up both on the top side and on the bottom side. That's something to put in your brain and to remember, is that you can use any inch of racing surface on this racetrack, and you will probably see some guys dip their at least left sides underneath that yellow line and trying to find some grip and some momentum down on that apron, which currently does have a large buildup of marbles, and those can be tough to clean off the tires too. So it'll be very fun to see how that plays effect on these drivers as they start to roll off and get their pace laps underway. Wes, 25 cars, 50 laps. The distance should be fun.
I believe they do have cautions under the conditions here in the feature. So caution count, guys. I'm gonna go with we get 3 cautions. What about you?
I will drop you one. We've seen some good racing so far. I say we get a twin pair of cautions. 2 cautions today. Lots of green flag racing, good side-by-side short track.
Fat guy hitting the buttons. How many caution?
No caution. More fun.
All right. You heard from him. You heard from Paul Strickland in his broken English. All right. So, again, if you like what you see here, make sure you hit the subscribe button as we go green here at Lanier. That 38 ride is able to get the whole shot, and that, of course, is driven by Garrett Lamb. The battle is side by side of Regan Parent in the 17 as he battles underneath David Riendeau, and there's our first yellow of the race. So far, I am better than Paul.
Caution flag number 1 flies at the conclusion of lap number 1. Looks like the number 8 machine of Gleason Smith is facing the wrong direction at the bottom of turn number 4. We're taking a look here.
8 and the 91, Kyle. The 91 got bumped at the same time that the 8 got spun right into those marbles. Maybe that had something to do with it there in 3 and 4. No, not the grip that you need. As soon as our production guy says, hey, I got it, we will get you the replay there. But the 8 car of Gleason Smith, as well as the 91 of Justin Bankowski, either one could have been the culprit there, bringing out the yellow flag. You got it over there, Paul?
Yeah, you could actually see the turn before. They were able to really get through the corner, no problem, no harm, no foul. They were looking 3 wide, but coming down through, it looks like the 12 gives the 8 just a little bit of a bump, sends them on through. The 8 was actually checking up for that 91 car. 91 got sent up and around, trying to get checked up there, and I guess the 12 car just didn't see it, or the spotter didn't let them know they were wrecking in front of them. And this is a really good shot down on the apron and up by the wall. Looking at it right now in slow motion, you can actually see all of those marbles all over the place. We're actually going to see if we can get hooked up here with some of the camera angles up on that 91 car while he's up there.
And this is a league where the culprit does get a end of longest line penalty, and Derek Luchaki did get the end of longest line penalty. So I guess they're going to deem him in the 21 in favor of the culprit that helped to bring out that yellow flag. So that beautiful Pennzoil number 21 will go to the back after winning his heat race.
Tough break. But yeah, these cars are going to be fun to hang on to here for the next 45 laps or so. There's marbles at the top side, marbles on the bottom. So a lot of these guys are going to be trying to adjust their line just a little bit to find the most grip that they can.
And we are back green here, Paul, and the battle up front is starting to heat up a little bit with 38 of Garrett Lamb pulling away, but the 1 of Riendeau all over the bumper of the 17 of Parent. And I'm looking at our chat right now, and I see Nicholas O'Sullivan said his cousin's racing. Nicholas, who is your cousin? And we also got a better way to say the last name, Bebo. It's Bebo. Thank you, Stephen. Definitely appreciate that. The battle for third is heating up now. Riendeau is stuck on the outside with the 08 of Milton Duran battling side by side in the 3 and 4.
Duran looking strong coming off the bottom of turn 4. He will have the position at the line, but he does not have him cleared yet. Now he does. A little bit of a contact there between the two cars. Thought that Rindo was going to try to cross him over and get back underneath, but now that opens up the door for Tony Quadros to stick his nose underneath the one car. He won't be able to keep that fight going for too long as he struggles there coming off of turn number 4. Now he's still rocking the bottom while the one is trying to actually get that top side to come in. Now he drops down to the bottom, touches the yellow line, and will end that battle for the moment. So Rindo in the 1 will hang on to 4th, Tony Quadros in the 27 and 5th, and we're single file throughout the front half of the field. Logging laps here, we're 10 down, 40 left to go.
Out 10th, starting to heat up. The 164 of Robert Run is under pressure from the 20 of David Greenslit. We've seen David Greenslit barely miss the show in his heat, but able to make it into the feature as he works his way underneath the 164 to take over that 10th position. The rest of the field throughout the field is basically nose to tail. Nothing too crazy going on. Our EOLL driver of that last caution of Derek Buchaki, he's able to work underneath the 58 of Thomas Johnson, does the 21, and he's up to 20th now. Since that restart, he's only been able to get by about 3 cars, so he's having to slowly but methodically, as Paul Snorts in the background, work his way throughout the field. And then the other battle that's going to happen up towards the front here is this battle for 5th. Quadros has the 25 of Jimmy Weaver all over his back bumper coming out of forward.
Jimmy Weaver, your heat race winner in heat race number 2, trying to work his way inside of the top 5 that go into turns 3 and 4. Once again, he is all over that back bumper, but he's not really moving around trying to find a line underneath or above him just quite yet. Trying to measure him up, see where the 27 is weak, and finding an opportunity to pounce. He does have a little bit of pressure to make that move because he does have the 19 of Jeffrey Battle, what a name for a short tracker there, and Matthew Kimball behind this little 4-car group here. So he wants to find his way around the 27, but doesn't want to take too much time and end up with a mirror even fuller of cars trying to get around him themselves. So far, they still stay single file. This is the battle for positions 5 through 8. Slow car down on the apron. That looks to be the 000 machine of Terrence Connor going off the lead lap, heating way to the leaders, giving them space to continue to race and not affect this battle.
Kyle Bout out back. The 14 just wrecked the 26. Andrew Harmon goes around in the 26. The 14 got roughed up by Gluchaki. I was watching that for a while. Gluchaki roughed him up for the 18th position. It's put Joseph Brooks in the 14 on the outside, and it kind of looked like that he just lost his patience after Gluchaki roughed him up, threw him out to the outside. The 26 was working low, and what do you got there, Paul?
Yeah, we'll bring up the instant replay here. We'll show it to you in slow motion, so show you exactly what was going on. 14 on the outside and 14 on the inside. That's kind of interesting. Didn't notice that before. Right behind the 21 Pennzoil machine, and you can see the 2 14 cars on your screen just wanted that same position. They wanted that same piece of real estate. It's like the timelines got crossed or something. But it shoots the white and blue 14 down low. Doesn't hit anything. Looks like he's going to be able to get through. He's able to back up, not get any damage on the front of that car. So just and he just nosed it into the inside wall. Unfortunate there. But doesn't look like the damage is too bad. Looks like he's going to be able to continue on. Just going to be in the back of the pack for the restart.
Paul, and looks like they have give the end of longest line penalty there to the 26. The 26 car of Andrew Harmon. So unfortunately, that beautiful white ride with the blue lettering is going to the back of the pack. They're going to say, hey, you're the one that was deemed at fault. You got to go to the back, and that's where he shall go.
So it appears that the 000 machine is the recipient of the free pass award. Terrence Connor will get himself back on the lead lap, and that will only 1 car off of the lead lap, and that is the 26 of Andrew Harmon. Pretty cool. 24 cars on the lead lap out of 25. We're just about halfway through. We are on lap 23 right now, and it has been Garrett Lamb in the 38 all the way through. Regan Parent in the 17, currently running in position number 2. Milton Duran in 3rd. David Rindo in 4th. And Tony Quadros, that battle that we were highlighting just before that incident happened, hanging on to 5th. The rest of your top 10 before we go green: Jimmy Weaver in 6th, Jeffrey Battle 7th, Matthew Kimball 8th, Adam Knowles in 9th, and David Greenslit, your Consi winner, has made his way to 10th position. Green flag comes out, and here we go. Garrett Lamb with a great restart. He will take sole possession of the top spot, as now Milton Duran going to look to the inside of the 17 of Regan Parent for that runner-up position. Parent going to get a great run coming off of turn 4. Not sure if Duran had an issue there. He looked a little bit slower, but Parent will win that battle. Duran will fall solidly into third, and now we have a side-by-side battle for fourth with Davey Rindo and Tony Quadros. Rindo will hold him off, and now more side-by-side battling. Jeffrey Battle battling with the 25 of Jimmy Weaver for position. Battle's got the advantage right now on the bottom. Weaver not giving up just quite yet. He does not have any holes to fall in line, so he's got to fight on that top side. No way he's going to get down to the bottom.
Oh, and there goes the 8 of Gleason. The 8 of Gleason wrecks a couple guys. The 20 of David Greenslick gets wrecked further up front, and no caution. No caution.
We stay clean and green despite some of the action getting a little hot and heavy. We're just past halfway. Now we got more trouble. Car around, I believe that's the 23 machine exiting turn number 4. That is the 23 of Andrew Davis. He will spin it off of turn number 4. I am now wrong. Wes is currently in the hot seat. Caution number 3 has flown.
Yeah, the 23 just drove it in there possibly a little too hard, bounced it off the 11 once. Looks like he possibly bounced it off again. We're going to wait for the production truck to get us back to that replay there. But Andrew Davis, but what happened before that where the caution didn't come out, the 20 of Greenslick got spun out. The 20 of Greenslick got spun up and around. He got bumped by the 05 and the 34 together, and that sent him around and flying. No caution came out for that. But what do we got for replay, Paul?
Yeah, just taking a look right now, you can see there's a gaggle of cars right there. The purple machine gets a little bit sideways. That's the number 11 car. He gets sideways, corrects it, but unfortunately, as he corrects it, he pancakes the side of the 23 and sends him packing, sends him on down to the inside and down where those marbles are on the apron. Luckily, he's able to get the car stopped before he hits anything, so that's definitely good news. Doesn't look like there's any damage on either side of that race car, but definitely a tough break. You can see he spins it right back around. And no harm, no foul, gets it pointed, doesn't lose a lap, so he'll be at the back of the pack, end of the longest line, but he's still going to be able to race throughout the second half of this race.
With a long race like this, Kyle, 50 laps doesn't seem too long, but it is here when you're racing this close. We are halfway. It leaves a little bit of room for mistakes, but now here we are coming up to 18 to go. That margin is much smaller as we're going to see Andrew Harmon be able to work his way around that 26 to get his lucky dog position. So last caution he was involved, fell down a lap, and now he's going to get that position back.
Yeah, and the downfall of these guys having issues this late in the race is that they're not going to have a lot of opportunities to get those spots back. We're going to go green with just 16 laps to go, and both Andrew Davis and David Greenslit are going to line up outside of the top 20. So a long road ahead of them with a short path just to get there. It'll be fun to see how far they can come up in just these 16 laps. The field doubles up. We're getting ready to go green. As mentioned, 16 to go. It is still Garrett Lamb at the front of the field. Regan Parent is his dancing partner on the front row. They hit the loud pedal, and the green flag flies once again. Not able to clear him just quite yet. Garrett Lamb, they make a little bit of contact up at the front of the field. Now he is clear into the lead. Regan Parent goes to second. Milton Duran trying to peek underneath for position in 3. Nothing quite doing yet, as now David Rindo is stuck on the outside. There's contact. They're sliding. I believe he saves it. Great save by the one of Davey Rindo, but he's going to lose about 3 or 4 positions because of that.
What a save by that one machine. Man, most probably would have lost control of it there. And not only did he save it, but he's maintaining his position there on the outside, not collecting anybody either. As a 19 just made contact with the wall behind them of Jeffrey Battle, and he goes into the 164 Robert Run, but he's able to keep it strong and keep it clean. And big wiggle from the 12 there, who's side by side with the 91 of Justin Bankowski, as they're side by side coming across the line, coming down into 1. And man, just tires smoking everywhere. It's go time. We're less than 15 to go.
Great racing inside the top 10 here late in the going. Multiple side by side battles. One of them coming to, there's a little bit of contact there between the 164 of Robert Rund and the 19 of Jeffrey Battle. They're able to hang on, but they are still brawling it out, and that is for position number 9. Battle hangs on to it on the outside, Run trying to find a way to get around him on the inside, and I think we're starting to see that top side get some momentum here, Wes. These guys have been able to run it in. There's some more heat, there's rubber up there, and we've got some Jeffrey Battle hanging tough.
Such a gaggle of cars back there, but up front, Kyle, There's a battle for our lead. Garrett Lamb in the 38. He's under fire now from Reagan Parent in the 17. A lot of action back there before it changed. The first time today, we have a battle for the lead. And not only is a battle, it looks like the 17 might be faster than the 38 here. And now with only 9 to go, will we see him look low? He looks and not quite there. Coming to the line this time by 8 to go.
On board with the 17 machine of Regan Parrott. We got the camera on the helmet. You can see what he sees. He is trying to find an opening around the 38. He's going to have to wait because the caution flag flies. Caution flies for the 4th time today. The 58 machine is spun around on the front straightaway. That is Thomas Johnson. We'll get the replay up on that to see what exactly happened. But caution 4 coming out for Thomas Johnson facing the wrong way on the front straightaway.
That didn't happen too far from the leaders there, trying to get that car back going, and possibly a little bit problem with him in the 34 there.
Yeah, we're going to take a look. You can see the 58 is on the outside. That pink machine will get it going here slow motion. And as the 34, I believe it is, comes in, he just kind of sneaks up the track just a bit, sends him on around, smashes into his driver's side door there. But other than that, doesn't look like there was any other big damage, big impact, or anything like that. But you're right. Once we got him spinning around here, see if we can back this shot up just a little bit. You can see it was the leaders were coming around at this point, so there you see them right there in the first and second car. So great wherewithal for the 58 machine to just stay up in the high line, stay out of the way of the leaders, because it's definitely with less than 10 to go, you really don't want to see the leaders get taken out by a wreck.
And the good thing is for these guys is they get one fast repair. It's a little late in the race to worry about that now, but this league does run one fast repair. So possibly down, if this goes into it, if someone gets wrecked and we get lined up for a green-white checkered, it doesn't mean your day is over yet. You've still got that fast repair if you haven't used it yet. And for those that aren't familiar with the fast repair, you're able to go down pit road and get basically a brand new car. But you only get that once. After that, what you got is what you got. So to you viewers watching on Verdane TV as well as on Facebook Verdane TV, YouTube and Facebook, thank you so much for your support watching us. We got 4 races. This is the second of 4 races we're going to be calling today. The next one will be at 6:45, and then at 9 o'clock tonight we got some racing to call. So great action-packed day of racing. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the like button on Facebook. We are here to bring you your entertainment during this quarantine session that we're going through in America, all over the world. So pace car is about to go down. Who will get it, Garrett Lamb or the 17 of Paragon? And the green flag is out, and Lamb gets a great start. But however, that opens up the door for Milton Duran of the 08. 2 to go. Next time will be white flags. The 17 apparent bounces off the wall.
Duran needs to clear for
Caution's
second
out.
immediately. He's not going to. He gets the spot, but the caution flag flies.
Ada
Caution
Gleason
coming out before they get to the white flag. So we will go into overtime. We will have 3 attempts at a green-white checkered, and the trouble is for the 8 machine of Gleason Smith.
Up on his side there, Kyle.
It was just getting a shot at it here. We're getting the replay pulled up, but yeah, a little bit of a crazy wreck there. Paul, what did you?
Yeah, looking at it again here, slow motion. The 8 car's up top. 20 wants the position. Says, you should just move out of the way and let me get that position. Gets right into his corner. Not even in. They were actually on the backstretch, it looks like, but kind of a lazy spin there for the number 8. He gets down into the wall, and you can see he's actually on his door at that point. But comes back down, sticks the landing, throws it in first gear, spins it on around, and gets back on track. Doesn't lose a lap. A little bit of damage on that car. We'll see where he ends up here in 2 laps.
Kyle, are you having fun?
Oh, this has been great, Wes. We've seen a lot of really good racing. Of course, we've had our cautions. Nothing out of the ordinary for a short track. It creates a little bit of excitement, and it's going to create some excitement here for the finish of this race. We were going to have an attempt at a legal green-white checker there. We did not go into overtime. Now we will. So we will have 3 attempts at getting this race finished under green flag conditions. So we will extend the race, continue to count laps until we can either get this race under the checkered flag, or if the 3rd and final attempt is spoiled, then we will end the race under caution. That was a great restart there for Milton Duran in the '08 car. He was able to get around the 17 of Regan Parent, but this caution doesn't really help him too much, Wes, because now he's on the outside of leader Garrett Lamb, and that puts Regan in the preferred lane down on the bottom. So the turnaround move could be very, very apparent here. Regan could be able to get that spot back, but you want to be able to execute that as fast as possible. Battling side by side for second with just 2 laps to go on a 0.38 mile short track, you need to work quickly. Get clear of that position of the second place battle. Focus your sights on that 38 car and see what you can do. Maybe some intimidate, or no, we're going green right now. I think they went single file. Milton Duran not realizing that, and he was trying to line up for a double file restart. We're back green, Wes.
Yeah, I think the admins were a little slow on that call to make it double file, but this might help us finish under green. And there's the bump and run! There's the bump and run! Milton Duran sends the 38 of Garrett Lamb up the track. He looks low on the bottom there. Door handle through 1 and 2. They make contact heading down the back stretch, and look at Parent looking behind them in the 17. He sends it in and they make contact. Oh man, they touch in the back! Your winner will be Milton Duran. Man, oh man, with Regan Parent barely finishing second over Garrett Lamb. The 27 ride of Quadros finishing fourth. Jimmy Weaver in the 25 fifth. Man, what a battle. Milton Duran brings it home.
My goodness, what a finish to this one. Milton Duran steals the win from Garrett Lamb, getting a great restart. He lined up on the outside. I guess we'll have to see if maybe race control has any issues with that. It was supposed to be a single file restart, but he lines up on the outside, gets underneath the 38 car, and steals the win from Garrett Lamb, who dominated this event. What a thrilling finish, Wes. That was awesome.
Short track racing at its finest is what that is. Short track racing at its finest. That was the classic vintage bump and run. He didn't wreck him. All he did was give him a bump in the rear bumper, sent him up the track, got underneath him. That's as clean as it gets when we're talking about bump and run status. That was perfect by Milton Duran. And we thought maybe starting second was going to hinder him, but he was lucky that he got a single file start. Even still started on the outside, Kyle. Put the advantage in the 17 of Parent's hands. Still got the job done. Man, what a race.
You said it all right there, Wes. That was an absolutely perfectly executed bump and run. He did not wreck him. He did not spin him. He gave him a few slight little taps in the center of 3 and 4 to push him up the racetrack, and he used that inside line to do the rest. Just awesome. Awesome finish. A stolen victory for Milton Duran. Absolute crushing loss for Garrett Lamb. Not only did he lose the lead, but he lost second and will have to come home third to Regan Parent in second. Tony Quadros was fourth, and Jimmy Weaver rounding out the top 5. I think that was a fantastic introduction to this Hudson Speedway iRacers League. That was insanely good.
It was. And that's what it's all about, man. We love calling these races for Stephen Dickey Jr. and these guys at Hudson on Sunday afternoon. So much fun. But ladies and gentlemen, this isn't it for us. Paul, what do we got going on tonight?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at your screen right now. Noon, we opened up with the Carter's iRacing Series, and just now wrapping up the Hudson Speedway iRacing Group here at Lanier. Great win for the number 08 Milton Duran. That's good news for him. Going to take a couple-hour break here. We're going to come back, 6:45 Eastern Time. Tim's Corner Motorsports, another special event for those guys. 9 o'clock tonight, East Coast Winter League. Those guys running SK Modifieds at Stafford Motor Speedway. Been putting on some fantastic shows, primetime Sunday nights here on Verdane TV. Wednesday, kicking off the first race of the 9 series, the first race of the 9, whatever it is, the first race of the E-World Series at New Smyrna. That's going to be put on by Verdane TV and Verdane Racing. Very cool to partner up with those guys. And then Thursday night, we're actually going to be joining the New England Pro iRacing Busch North Series at USA International. Going to be watching those guys for the next 3 or 4 Thursday nights here on Verdane TV. Very cool show they're going to be putting on. Everybody in that league runs a throwback NASCAR paint scheme. So a lot of cool paint schemes. I was hanging out with those guys last Thursday. A lot of stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. So that'll be Very, very fun to watch that race. And man, we got a packed race. Looking at the schedule, we're looking at like 25 to 30 races here throughout the month of May. So very, very cool. Very, very busy here at Verdane TV. If you're interested in getting your races broadcast, shoot us a message. YouTube, Facebook, whatever you got to do. Verdane TV on both. And same as if you wanted to come in, maybe do a little pit reporting with us. Try your hand behind the microphone. Definitely give us a shout as well. We're always looking for new talent as we seem to be getting a little bit bigger as the days go by. So very, very cool. A lot of cool partners, a lot of cool leagues that have really brought us on board and made us as successful as we are so far today, Wes. But for Wes, Rowdy Wesley Hogue, Kyle Young jumping in, helping us out this afternoon. I'm Showtime Paul Strickland. We're going to take
before you sign off, Kyle, are you coming back for tonight's action?
If you guys want me back, I am more than welcome to come back. We had a great show here this afternoon. Not exactly sure what the combination is for that TCM special event, but I've definitely got my interest peaked after watching these Hudson Speedway iRacers.
I think we should see you at the TCM and possibly at Stafford Motor Speedway tonight for the SKs. How's that sound?
We're traveling all over the country tonight, boys.
That's it, putting miles on.
All right, Paul's going to sign us off, and we'll see you guys at 6:45.
Come on back for Verdane TV. You don't want to miss anything. We're going to entertain the masses, and as always, we do it live. Thanks so much for coming out. We'll see you later on tonight.